Hey everybody, welcome back to Yoga with Carlin. I'm Carlin and today's class is a total body flexibility flow. We're going to be working at a slower pace than a typical vinyasa to lengthen the muscles from head to toe. We will need no props for class today, just your body and your mat. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit those bell notifications so you never miss a class. If you would like, you can follow me on Instagram for daily yoga, mindfulness, and meditation tips at Calm with Carlin. When you're ready, we'll get started in a tabletop position. I'll see you there. In your tabletop position, make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, and your belly button's pulling in to activate your core. We're going to start just by taking some gentle circles, stretching out the wrists. These circles are really more being drawn with your shoulders rather than your hips. If this feels good, you can always increase your range of motion and make them a little bit bigger, adding in the hips with those circles. But if you're feeling a little bit tighter, you can always decrease your range of motion. Take really tiny circles. Moving in a clockwise direction. And then go ahead and switch directions, move counterclockwise. Breathing to open through the wrists. Slight bend in the elbows just so we're not locking out here. Couple more circles in this direction. And as you're ready, we'll come back through center, turn the fingertips out towards the long edges of the mat. And this time we're just going to rock side to side. Stretching out the wrist creases still on the left side and the right side as you move back and forth. One more in each direction. And then come back through center, face the fingertips towards the top of the mat. We'll start on the left side. We're going to stretch one wrist at a time this time, and we'll get into the top of the wrist and even the forearm. So keep the right hand planted and flip that right palm so that it's left palm so that it's facing up and the top of the hand is pressing down. And then from here, try and keep as much of the back of the hand planted on the ground as possible and just start to pulse the body back. And each time you pulse back, you'll feel a nice stretch in the wrist. Again, it might radiate all the way up the forearm. This one can be slightly uncomfy, but it's amazing for your wrist. So we'll just stay for one more big breath. And then when you're ready, come back to center, maybe shake out the left wrist, and then plant the left hand, and we'll take that on the other side. So this time the right palm faces up, back of the right hand is on the ground. This side's definitely a little bit better for me. And then as you're ready, just start to pulse back. So I'm feeling this one a little bit more in my forearm. Maybe my range of motion is not as big since this side is tighter. That's totally okay. And in these awkward poses, remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like, just what it feels like. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Take your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And from here, we'll move into a puppy pose. So keeping your knees and your hips nice and still, start to walk the hands forward. And when you can't walk the hands forward anymore, just melt the forehead and the chest down to the ground. Breathing into the shoulders, the side body, space right underneath the armpits. Opening the upper body, preparing for our movement. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, start to walk your hands back. Don't bring your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Keep them a little bit further than your shoulders. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. Make sure the index fingers face forward. And when you're ready, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Find your first downward facing dog of class. Like I mentioned, this class is all about flexibility, so take the time to open up the back body here, maybe coming up onto the tippy toes, and then gently letting the heels relax towards the ground. And just take inventory. Notice without judgment where your body is today. I personally did leg day yesterday, so getting my heels to the ground right now is a big, big stretch. I'm just going to slowly ease myself into it. You might go through one knee at a time as you straighten the opposite leg. And then come back through center, and we'll really get into the calves here. So lift the right foot up just a couple inches. Cross it behind the left and place it next to the left foot. So the pinky edge sides of the feet are facing one another. And then from here, you'll bend the left knee a lot, straighten the right leg as much as you can. Maybe the heel touches the ground this time. You'll feel a nice deep stretch in the right calf, the back of the right leg. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, come back through center and we'll take it to the other side. Lifting that left foot up just a couple inches, placing it on the opposite side of the right foot. Bend the right knee a lot, straighten the left leg as much as you can, and breathe into the calf. Last breath here. When you're ready, come back through center, and we'll all drop the knees. Take them nice and wide, big toes come to touch. Find your child's pose. Letting the forehead rest down on the mat. Gently starting to open up the hips in this child's pose. And just connect with your breath as you inhale, the belly falls down towards the ground. And as you exhale, that belly button pulls gently in towards the spine. Just another couple breaths here before we start to move. Take your final breath in child's pose. And then when you're ready, start to make your way back to a downward facing dog. Just briefly to transition. Bend the knees a lot when you get there. Take the gaze to the hands, and we'll start to take some small steps, walking our feet all the way up to the hands, taking a little bit more time to do this than you usually would. And once you feel like you can't maintain the palms on the ground anymore, maybe you come up to the fingertips and continue walking yourself forward. When you arrive, feet hips width distance apart, bend the knees, drape the upper body over the low body, grab opposite elbows, and find your ragdoll forward fold. Gently rock side to side. Tucking the chin to the chest as much as you can to relax the neck. Final breath here. Let go of any last tension. And when you're ready, let the fingertips fall down to the ground. Bend the knees even more. And very slowly tuck the chin to the chest. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Moving a little bit slower today. Really focusing on showing love to those muscles. When you arrive in your mountain pose, take an inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears, and on your exhale, squeeze them together and down the back. We'll find one round of a classical Sun Salutation, stopping in our low lunges for some nice deep stretches. When you're ready, take an inhale, arms above the head, hands come to prayer, and then fold yourself forward as your hands come through heart center, and you make your way all the way to a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips to the mat or to the shins, and then bend the knees, plant the hands, step the right foot back, drop the back knee, and inhale to come up into your low lunge. Relax the shoulders, take 2 breaths here, squeezing left heel and right knee towards one another. Activate that right hip flexor, stretch it out. From here, we'll take a side body stretch. Let the left hand fall off to the left side. Reach the right arm up and over the head, again towards the left, lengthening the right side of the body. Almost like you're bringing that torso out of the hip socket, really finding length. One more breath here. And then we'll take this all the way to a twist, hooking that right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Hands come to prayer and gaze past that left shoulder if you can. If not, you can keep the gaze neutral or on the ground. Squeeze the inner thighs together to help you find stability. And you can stay here if you have the stability or you have the space in the body. Maybe you take those right fingertips down to the ground right outside that left foot and the left fingertips up to the sky. Deepening the twist. Breathing for 3, for 2. Last breath. And then when you're ready, let the hands come back down to frame the left foot. Palms press into the ground. Lift the right knee off the ground. Step the left foot back for your high plank. Take an inhale in your high plank. And on your exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes. Press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. And exhale, lower down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Time, inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Other side, take an inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. On your exhale, pull the right knee in towards the nose and step the right foot behind the right. Drop the back knee and inhale into your low lunge. 2 breaths here. Squeezing right heel and left knee together. Let's move into that side body stretch. Let the right arm fall off to the side. Left fingertips up and over the head, lengthening the left side of the body. When you're ready, move into that twist, taking that left elbow to hook outside of the right thigh. Palms come to touch, gaze past your right shoulder. Keeping that right shoulder nice and open, squeeze inner thighs together for stability. You can stay here, you can flower open the arms, placing those left fingertips outside of the right foot, reaching the right fingertips up to the sky. Holding for 3, for 2, last one. When you're ready, let the hands come back down to the ground, framing the right foot. Lift that left knee, step the right foot back into high plank. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Just one this time. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settle into your down dog. Take 3 breaths. Last breath here. At the bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, jump or step your feet. An inhale, lift up halfway, and an exhale to fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up, and exhale, come to your mountain pose. So that's 1/2 of a classical sun salutation. We'll take the other half now. Inhale, lift up, arms above the head, palms come to touch. Exhale, fold yourself in half, hands come through heart center, palms come down to the ground. Inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips to the mat or to the knees. Step the left foot back this time. Drop the back knee. And this time, bring the fingertips on either side of the right foot. Walk that right foot a little bit more forward. We'll need space in this posture. As you walk the right foot forward, you'll start a nice stretch in the right hip, maybe in the right glute area. Just stay here for 1 breath. And then we'll move into a half split. So as you're ready, straighten through that right leg. Maybe you walk the hands back slightly. And for this first variation, flex the toes nice and strong towards the face. Right thumb, that's not your thumb, that's your toe. Right toe is really pointing towards the face here so that there's almost like a curl to the toes. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. And on your exhale, gently fold forward. Try and keep your spine nice and long here in this forward fold. The key here is nice deep breaths. Deep breaths send reminders to our nervous system that this is a safe place to be. We can stay, we can breathe, we can lengthen. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, lift up halfway again. This time, point the right toes all the way down to the ground. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. The closer the toes get to the ground, the more you'll feel a stretch in the top of the foot and the front of the right leg. We don't always show love to this side of the leg. We're usually focused on the back. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. And on your exhale, again, fold forward. This might feel a little bit more intense, so you might not fold as deeply. That's okay. Again, just breathe. One more variation. Go ahead and come back through center. Flex the right toes towards the face again. Take that left hand, grab the right ankle, and move that right foot towards the left side of the mat. We'll stretch out the IT band here, so both hands will come to the outside of the right leg, and then you'll start to walk the hands back towards that left foot, towards that left knee. Really squeezing inner thighs together, keeping a strong flex in the right foot, and feeling that stretch in the outer hip and the IT band. This one's pretty intense. Again, tune into your breath. Take your last breath here. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Take that right foot back to the center of the mat. Crawl the hands forward, bend back into that right knee. Plant the palms to frame the right foot. Lift the left knee. Right foot comes back, high plank. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, we'll take it to the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, curl the left knee in towards the nose and step the left foot behind the left thumb. Drop the back knee. Walk that left foot forward as much as you can. Really start to lengthen into the left hip and the left glute. Stay here for just a breath or two. And then when you're ready, move into that half split. Start to straighten through the left leg. Maybe you walk the hands back slightly, flexing the left toes towards the face. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. And on your exhale, fold, but try and keep the spine nice and long. When you're ready, inhale, lift up halfway. This time the toes point down towards the ground. Try and get them to touch or as close to the mat as they can. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, you fold, maybe not as deeply. Feel the difference in the stretch with this variation. Keep breathing. Take one final breath here. And then when you're ready, come up through center, flex the toes towards the face. Grab that left ankle with the right hand. Move the left foot over to the right side of the mat. Hands come to the outside of the left leg. And you'll start to walk your hands back towards the right knee or the right foot. Squeezing inner thighs together, breathing into the IT band. Letting this be intense. I know it feels like a lot. Keep the breath going. Last one here. When you're ready, come back through center. Take that left foot back to the middle of the mat. Bend into the left knee. Crawl the hands forward. Plant the palms. Lift the right knee. Left foot comes back to meet it. You're in your high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take one series of standing postures here. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot behind the right thumb. Draw that left heel down and take an inhale to rise into your warrior one. And from this warrior one, move the right foot out towards the right edge of the mat, creating a little bit of a wider base. Take an inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, interlace the hands, open the heart. And on your exhale, gently fold to the inside of the right knee. As you fold, opening the shoulders, pulling that right hip back, squeezing left hip forward. Tuck the chin to the chest as much as you can to relax the neck. One more breath. As you're ready, inhale, lift back into your warrior one, arms to the sky. Shimmy that right foot back through center, and then take the hands to the hips and straighten through that right leg. Walk the left foot in just a couple centimeters. creating a shorter stance. And then when you're ready, take your hands, grab opposite elbows behind the back. Inhale, straight and strong legs, look up to the sky. And on your exhale, hinge and fold forward. Two more breaths in your pyramid pose. When ready, take the hands down to frame the right foot. We'll bend into that right knee and step the left foot back just a couple inches. Coming into a twist, left hand plants, right arm reaches up to the sky. Squeeze the inner thighs together and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Right hand comes to the outside of the right foot. Step back to your high plank. You can take that modified vinyasa, or maybe this time you lower down just halfway to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Only the hands and the tops of the feet touch the mat. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. And we'll take that on the other side. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, step the left foot behind the left thumb. Take the right foot flat on the ground, and inhale to lift up, warrior 1. Shimmy that left foot out to the left edge of the mat, creating that wide base. Interlace the hands behind the back, squeeze shoulder blades together, open the heart, and on your exhale, fold to the inside of the left knee. Opening the shoulders, relaxing the neck. A little wobbly on this side. Last breath. When you're ready, inhale, come back up through stand. Shimmy that left foot back through center. Take the hands to the hips, straighten the front leg, step the right foot in just a little bit closer. Take opposite elbows behind the back. Inhale, straight and strong, look up. And on your exhale, hinge and fold forward. Hold in your pyramid pose, 3 breaths. Last breath here. When you're ready, take the hands down to frame the left knee and step the right foot back as much as you can. Right hand plants, left fingertips reach up to the sky. We hold in this twist for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, take the left hand back down to the outside of the left foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And when you arrive in your down dog, let's take a child's pose. Knees come out wide, big toes come to touch. Take a moment here to slow down the breath. Just another breath here. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way back to tabletop, keeping the legs as they are, taking the wrists underneath the shoulders. And we'll thread the needle from here. Now, take the right arm up to the sky, keep the left hand planted. Exhale, thread right arm underneath left. Come down to the right shoulder, the right ear. Pull that left hip back. And if you want, you can walk the left fingertips forward. Three more breaths on this side. When you're ready, start to walk the left hand back underneath the left shoulder. Press into the left palm. Inhale, reach back up, open twist. And then take the right hand down. We'll take that to the other side. Inhale, the left arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, come down to the left shoulder, the left ear. Stay here, pulling the right hip back or move those right fingertips forward, intensifying the stretch even more. 3 more breaths on each side. At the bottom of your final exhale, walk the right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, lift up, open, twist one more time. And then bring both of the hands down to the mat. And we'll make our way onto our seat for one seated posture before we come onto our backs. So we're going to take a variation of Badakanasana or butterfly pose. For this variation, bring the soles of the feet to touch. And you want to bring your pubic bone as close as you can towards the heels. So we really want to get the inner thighs here. Knees will come as close to the ground as they can. Sometimes I like to interlace my hands by my toes, help to close my feet. Take an inhale, lift up, and on your exhale, hinge forward, but keep the spine long, no rounding here. You should feel this stretch in the groin area, the inner thighs. It might radiate to different parts of the legs, but really focus on that stretch right about here. 2 more deep breaths. The last one here. And then as you're ready, gently come back up through center. Take the right ear to the right shoulder, stretching out the left side of the neck. And then switch sides. Take the left ear to the left shoulder, stretching out the right side of the neck. And when you're ready, we'll make our way all the way onto our backs, coming right into our Shavasana. So taking up lots of space on your mat, palms facing up or down, legs out wide, arms do the same in a wide V at your side. Take a moment here before we settle into our rest to really notice the openness of the body. Notice where your muscles feel long and light as a result of your stretching and your breath. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere, squeezing anything, or working to keep something a certain way. And just consciously let go. It's not always easy to just rest, but let this rest be easy. Any thoughts that come up as you lie here, just set them off to the side without judgment. You can come back to them later, but this isn't the time and place. We have nothing to do right now, nowhere to be. Just rest. You can stay here for as long as you'd like. You can pause the video, make your Shavasana a little bit longer. When you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, go ahead and hug the knees tight into the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze, rock side to side, massaging out the low back. And then take some rocks up and down the length of the mat until you eventually make your way up into a seated position. When you arrive in that seated position, bring the hands to heart center. We'll close our practice with one final breath together. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Leave a comment below. Let me know how you liked class. Namaste.